Can we talk about your sobriety? So in, what was it, January of 2022, you decided to put the booze in the rear view?
I didn't decide to put the booze in the rear view to begin with. I just decided to do dry January. I couldn't quite wrap my head around how much I was struggling without booze in that first month. So I decided as a sort of punishment to myself that I would do February as well as January, and I would do 2 months. So I said to myself, if I can make it to June 1st, which is my birthday, and I can do 6 months without booze, I will have then proved to myself that I don't have a problem. And then by the time I'd done 6 months sober, I really started feeling the benefits. And I just sort of said to myself, let's do a year. I was like, I'm never going to drink again because this is the best version of myself. It was a complicated one because it was my go-to to celebrate and my go-to to commiserate. And then you go for a job interview that you don't get and you're constantly like this, which means that you always have a reason to be drinking.
Not so bad that the cops aren't getting involved and you're blacking out and waking up in weird places.
And that's where I've been so blessed to have the people around me that I've had, my brothers, my girlfriend, my family. About when I did my first screen test with Downey, the night before I polished off the minibar, and Marvel found out about that.
And what's interesting is all of the discomfort that persisted for month after month. Like there's a difference between abstinence and emotional sobriety, right? And then when you remove it, you're like a live wire with all these emotions. And it's confusing because you've never really had to confront them because every time they come up, you just take a drink and they go away, right?
I think the realization for me was that I'm a very confident person, but I'm more confident when I'm pretending to be someone else because the ramifications of your actions aren't real because you're pretending. And when I realized that alcohol wasn't masking my insecurity or bringing out my best self, it was actually doing the opposite. I then started to feel this freedom of like, oh, I can just be myself and I have nothing to be insecure about. That's when it started to get easier. And I started to really feel the benefit of not being kind of tied to this drink. And now that I've kicked that and I found replacements that make me feel like I'm a part of the process without sacrificing my morning, my afternoon, my next few days, has been so liberating.
And I think like running towards that is the path of healing. Like how do, going beneath the surface, like what led me to feel this way and how can I kind of untie those knots so that I could go anywhere and just feel good in my own skin.
And then the more I let go and relax, the more I started to feel the benefits of being free and having a life enriched and enjoying the freedom from alcohol. So no, I didn't ever really seek professional help.
So you're so passionate about this alcohol-free lifestyle that you actually decided to jump all in and create your own like non-alcoholic beer.
I think as an actor in my position, I'd been approached loads of times by different companies to set up something, whether it could be, an alcohol, a rum, a vodka, a beer, a clothing line, all that sort of stuff. And it wasn't until I got sober and I was dealing with the struggles of getting through that every day, and I noticed a void where there weren't good enough replacements for people like me who wanted to go to the pub, enjoy the social aspects of it, share some golden juice with your friends, and then go home. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be a great thing if I could turn not only my sobriety into a great thing for my lifestyle, but a great thing for my future and a tool for other people who are maybe trying to achieve the same thing that I have? So I just started kind of going around town and asking my agents to help me find people that were setting up these companies. And it's been one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done. But it's been such a joy working with the creative departments, figuring out what we want the company to represent. I think it's really important for me that Biro isn't ramming sobriety down people's throats. So my goal was to come up with something that you could drink in a bar that was as appealing, that scratched the itch as much as a real beer, but you didn't have to pay the price for it in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So my hope is that Beero can represent the non-alcoholic beer market, and that it can be something where people like myself can feel included in a place where I sometimes feel excluded. Just because there's less alcohol in it doesn't mean that it's less a beer. And I think that is something I'm really passionate about. I'd love to have had a Beero in my first year of sobriety. And I hope that maybe in the future it can help people afterwards. I mean, the creative, we've been working on it for about a year in terms of like the liquid itself, like what it tastes like, the flavors that we want to try and enhance, the branding and the marketing, which is the part of the process that I was most involved with. But then the setting it up and hiring the right people, that was about 4 or 5 months beforehand. Learning about the process of brewing beer, the difference between brewing non-alc beer and, your full strength beer. So being able to build a product that's tailored for my taste that I get to share with everyone has been awesome. One of the things I'm really excited about with Beero is that we are never going to bring out a full strength beer. So that when you're holding that gold can, you're safe.
Well, why don't we close this out with just a few reflections or thoughts for somebody who's flirting with, the alcohol-free lifestyle. Maybe alcohol is a problem, maybe it's not, but they've been inspired by what you had to share about like how much better your life is, and they're looking to take the first step.
Well, I think for me, try a life of less. It scratches the itch of wanting to have that drink, but you don't have to sacrifice the next day. I think that it's a beautiful journey, one that I've made friends for life on, people that I've related to and built relationships with. And he gave me a piece of advice once, which was really helpful, which was, you'll never wake up the next day and say, God, I wish I had a drink last night. And I hope that Beero can fill that void for people. I'm really proud to be here today, and I'm really proud to have a product that I can stand 10 toes down and represent and believe in the message and know that there's more to this product than making money. So October 16th, beerobrewing.com, you can get it nationwide. And then 1st of January next year, just in time for Dry January, we should be in stores nationwide at some major retailers. Hopefully it will grow and grow and grow, and the community will grow with it.